Hey guys, welcome back to another video and happy Wednesday. So the craziness continues. Bankruptcies and layoffs are still happening, and the latest round of layoffs actually happened at Uber Freight this week. So today, let's chat about what might be happening to Uber Freight, of course, as well as other online brokerages. Because one thing that we really don't want is to be caught off guard like many of us were when Convoy shut down. Ready? Let's go! So for a while now, I have been hearing from you guys and from online forums that Uber is stepping away from paying their carriers in 2 days like they used to, and now they're going to the 30-day days to pay schedule. Another thing I have been hearing and I have experienced is the fact that they stopped reimbursing some of the lumper fees. Now, we personally used to work with Uber Freight constantly, but we stepped away from them a while ago now because they started getting on my last nerve. Number one, they stopped paying tonu. Number two, they started finding excuses as to why they cannot pay detention. And the nail in the coffin, so to speak, was when they failed to reimburse us for a $400 lumper fee. Now, according to a FreightWaves article from yesterday, logistics leader at Uber Freight confirmed Tuesday that it was forced to cut a number of jobs in order to align with its continued commitment to drive sustainable growth. Now, one person familiar with the situation said that Uber Freight cut around 40 to 50 jobs, but he didn't exactly say how many people were actually let go. Now, of course, after what happened to Convoy back in October, and Convoy happens to be Uber Freight's biggest competitor, you can't blame people for being a little bit suspicious and a lot cautious of working with digital brokerages right now. Now, just so we're all on the same page, let me go through some statistics. 150 jobs were cut by Uber in January of 2023 and some 50 jobs in July of 2023. But according to an ex-Uber Freight employee, and I quote, "This is the first round of layoffs," and he's referring to the Monday layoffs, "that have impacted employees from legacy Transplace, which Uber Freight acquired in 2021. Now today at 5:14 a.m., I received an email from Uber Freight. I'm going to attach it right here. Did you guys receive this email? It says, and I quote, "As a reminder, starting today, the default payout speed for carriers is 30 days from a valid POD upload. Free 2-day pay is available to top carriers who haul 15 loads per quarter." So again, we are back to the question is, what is happening with brokers, regardless of whether they're digital brokers or regular brokers, and should we carriers be worried? Now, I did talk about the issues brokers are facing with mismanagement of their finances in a prior video, but today I found an article that shocked the crap out of me. According to the Supply Chain Management Review, and I quote, "An industry stakeholder told logistics management that something to consider when looking at the financial viability of brokerages comes down to how many of them, whether they're digital or not, are trying to buy volume." He says they're consciously exacting a strategy that has them selling to shippers at below market rates. No one can exert buying power in a fragmented market, so they're still paying the market when they cover it and they're not making any money. That's fine when the market is working in your favor, but when the market flips out of your favor and you can't go to the top to get more money from your capital markets, that's when things go south. Now, what about digital brokerages like Convoy and Uber Freight? According to this article, it's even more difficult for digital brokerages to cut costs because companies like TQL, what do? They usually hire college graduates, as we all know, and these college graduates can be hired and fired very easily. That's number one. That's a way to cut costs. Number two, they don't really expect to get paid much because they are fresh out of college and often it's either their first job ever or it's their first office job. Now, on the flip side, for a digital brokerage, and I quote, "The technology-enabled ones like Convoy and Uber cannot cut the cost base fast enough because they're not using recent college graduates that are smiling and dialing. Instead, they're using multi-million-dollar software systems and software engineers." Now, a final thing to keep in mind when it comes to Uber Freight, according to the Lodestar, and I quote, "At a media event in August of 2023, Uber Freight unveiled new services signaling a shift in focus from online brokerage to selling freight software as a service. It overhauled its transport management system, unveiled an AI-powered tool that analyzes historical data to generate suggestion for optimization, and presented a procurement tool that features simple bid functionality and historical performance recording and allows shippers to run freight auctions. So in other words, be careful, guys. With Uber Freight being an online brokerage that is incrementally laying off workers, that is starting to make changes to their days to pay, which tells me that something is off with their cash flow, as well as the fact that they seem to want to shift away from the online freight brokerage department, all of that is signaling that something is up with Uber Freight right now. Of course, I don't think that Uber is going to shut down as a company, but I do believe that they might start actually significantly winding down their freight brokerage department. So again, be careful. We don't want to be caught off guard. Anyway, guys, wishing you all an awesome Wednesday. I hope you stay healthy, safe, and I'll see you in the next video.